To Parliament now, where Majority Leader Mahama Yarga and Chief Whip Roxanne Nelson Dafiamakpo have drafted a private members' bill seeking to repeal the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act and abolish the OSP. The draft proposes that Act 595 be fully repealed with all regulations, functions, assets, liabilities, and funds of the OSP transferred to the Attorney General and the Ministry of Justice. OSP staff will also be absorbed under the terms not less favorable than they currently enjoy, while ongoing investigations and prosecutions would continue under the Attorney General's authority. Well, the draft bill, yet to be formally laid before Parliament, comes on the same day President John Dramani Mahama stated that it is premature to call for the abolition of the OSP, insisting the office remains important to Ghana's anti-corruption framework. Joining us now on Zoom is the Director of Policy Engagements and Partnerships at CDD Ghana, Dr. Kojo Asante. Dr. Asante, glad you could join me this afternoon. In a social media post, you described the bill as a betrayal of trust if it goes through. Why do you say so?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity. Yes, I think it's a betrayal of trust because I think the NDC's commitment to fighting corruption, as far as we all understood and read, did not include scrapping the OSP. I think the OSP was actually seen as one of the key agencies that needed to be strengthened to continue to fight corruption. So, I mean, the arguments that have been made so far for why all of a sudden it is an imperative to get rid of the OSP is untenable. And I haven't heard any argument that justifies the just sudden decision of Parliament to make this a priority.
Talking about having not heard any convincing argument, they argue, though, that the budget given to the OSP versus the results are a mismatch, and also the fact that they feel the Attorney General's department can equally execute the work that the OSP is currently doing.
So I think on the budget matter, it has already been shown that the statement that it is equivalent to that of the AG is not correct. I think that has been proven. But I've also made the case very clearly that this is an OSP that is setting up a new office. It got its main budget in 2022. It's used, the time it actually starts operations, really, you have to talk about 2024. So the argument that somehow it's been given all this money, it's not using the money to just do prosecutions. It's using the money to build that office.
Okay.
And then also the point that was made about, I think your second point, sorry, I missed your second point.
That's the Attorney General equally being capable of doing the work.
Yes, I mean, so we evolved to set up the economic crimes and economic and organized crimes office, the same way in which we thought that for such specialized, you needed a specialized agency to handle it. It's the same thing that we came to when it came to corruption, all the way from the Africa peer review mechanism point in 2004. So we've traveled a long way to come to that conclusion that we need to hive off the prosecutorial functions in relation to corruption to a specialized agency. And this is what has been done all around the world. So this going back, this will be complete reversal of almost a 20-year development that we've all worked very hard to get to this point.
The Majority Leader, Mahama Yarga, has been consistent in his push for the repeal of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. In fact, even the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, also supports that case. Is there something that is very peculiar they're seeing for them to be calling for the repeal of the OSP that the rest of the CEOs, including yourself, do not see?
I think their arguments have been based on the constitutionality of it. But as I said, the imperative of having an independent prosecutor to handle corruption for politically exposed persons, that has been long settled, as I said, all the way from the Africa peer review mechanism time, where we're talking about separating the Ministry of Justice from the Attorney General. So that imperative, I think, is very clear, and President Mahama mentioned that also. So the issue they have talked about was constitutionality. And my argument is that then why the rush? We are going to have a constitutional review process.
Right.
This is the opportunity for Parliament and all of us to come to an architecture that we feel, represents what is happening all across the world in terms of really tackling corruption. And let me say this, what actually really hurts me the most is that I cannot see why our politicians don't recognize the danger that political corruption is causing to, this country. And that even instead of focusing on helping to tackle that problem, they are doing things to rather undermine it. So that is what actually really worries me, that why this focus when there's so much to do next year on constitutional review and COPO bill and all of these things that will actually strengthen the fight against corruption.
There's another group of individuals who are rather calling for the special prosecutor, Kisia Jabin, to be expelled from the office. They want the office maintained, but with a different person heading that office. Is that an opinion you subscribe to?
Well, I think, the rules, even in the OSP Act, is very clear that if citizens have any issues, they feel they have concerns about the integrity of the person holding the office, they can send petitions. And I think people have already done that. So there's a mechanism for dealing with that. The OSP has already been subjected to such petitions in the past, and it didn't succeed. So I don't think anybody can take away people's, decision that they think that the person is not fit for the office. And so as for that, nobody can resolve that. But I just think that this office, as a new office, it is building its capacity. The fact that for me, there is this eagerness to get rid of it, even before it can be, take its roots, tells me that we even need the office more.
Dr. Kojo Asante, thank you very much. He's the Director of Policy Engagements and Partnerships at CDD Ghana.